Hi and welcome to Crafty Ladybug. Today we're going to be doing a tutorial on Prince Eric from The Little Mermaid. The creation that we're making will look very similar to this, and if you'll notice, his back does have hair on the back of his body. I designed this to cover up the flesh color that normally peeks through on our action figures. So we'll have a little bit of steps to do Prince Eric, and he is going to match up with Ariel, our Little Mermaid, and Ariel will be a different tutorial, so stay tuned for that. As well as I have Sebastian coming out, and I'm sorry, not Sebastian, Flounder coming out, and we already have Sebastian and King Triton to go along with our Little Mermaid series. So here I'm doing Prince Eric today. We'll need our loom set in a standard offset configuration with the arrows pointing towards our body. For Eric, we're going to begin by looming his legs and his arms, and then we're going to set those items aside. The first thing you want to do is to take 3 blue bands. We'll be using blue, white, flesh, black, and a few red. I've already loaded up a flesh color band with the eyes. We'll be needing one of those to set aside and do that during the face. If you don't know how to do the beads, I've got a tutorial on my channel called bead threading. Take a look at that. So we're going to begin with 3 bands of blue. Then we're going to do 3 bands of black, 2 bands of black, and then we're going to take 2 bands of black and we're going to wrap it around this peg 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. That was 2 bands of black wrapped around 3 times. We're going to do the same thing for another leg. 3 blue, 3 black, 2 black, and 2 bands wrapped 3 times around. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to begin to loom, and we're going to loom up to this point right here before the blue starts. So this is just simple, straightforward looming. We're going to stop right there at the blue, and I'm just going to loom the other leg to that point also. And then right here we're going to just push those down a little bit, and we're going to take 2 blue bands and wrap it around each of these pegs twice. 1, 2. This is giving the little cuffed effect on our pant area. Need to do it on the other side. 2 bands, wrap 2 times around. And then I'm just going to reach in beyond all of those, grab my blue, my 3 blue, and loop forward. Reach in, grab my 3 blue, and loop forward. And now we can pull those off the loom. And I just slide the back of my hook in to pull those off the loom. And you'll want to straighten them up a little bit. They get a little twisted when we pull them off. So I'm just straightening them up, pulling things out a little bit. Okay, and the other thing that we want to do is to take 2 of these loops that we have here, and you want to fold it over to the back. You want to do that on each leg. Take 2 of the loops. There's 4 there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you just want to take 2 of them and push it through the leg to fold it over onto the back. And that's going to be our leg pieces that we need to set aside to use in just a little while. So I'm just going to slide them onto a toothpick. Slide a toothpick right through there. And get my hook back. We're just going to set these aside for a moment or 2. Now we're going to work on his arms. For the arms, we're going to be doing 3 white, 3 white, 2 in the flesh color, Next will be a 2-time twist. 1 band twisted twice. 1 band, twist twice. 1 band, twist twice. And then we're going to place a 4-time cap band at the bottom. 1, 2, 3. 4-time cap band. And we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side to form his other arm. It's 3 bands. 3 white. 2 flesh. And now we need to begin to double twist again. Double twist. Double twist. Double twist. And a 4-time cap band. If I'm going too fast for you, hit the pause button and catch up. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we want to reach in and we're going to begin looming, and we're going to stop at the white area. And then we're going to do the cuff type of thing that we did on the pants. So this is just straightforward looping. And now I'm going to stop where the white begins, and I'm just going to loop the other side. And I'm going to stop where the white begins. Push those down slightly, and we're going to take a single band and wrap it around 3 times. 1, 2, 3. A single band wrapped around 1, 2, 3 times. And we want to push that back as you would a cap band. Grab the 2 or the 3 whites that are down there and loop straight forward. And you want to grab the 3 whites down on the other side, loop straight forward. And we want to take these off of the loom. We're going to do a similar thing that we did for the pants, but you're only grabbing one portion of the band and loop that through on the back. And I'm just tucking to kind of stretch things out a little bit there. Make it look even and nice. And I'm going to already take and just set this on a toothpick so I can have my hook back. Reach in, put the arm off the loom, tug and pull a little bit on it so they straighten out. And we want to take 1 band of that 3 and pull it around to the back side. And that's going to form like a little cuffy looking area on his sleeve. And I'm just going to slide that right onto my toothpick so I can have my hook back. We're going to set this aside. So we're done the arm and the leg extensions. Now we can move on to his hair, and the hair is going to be a little bit of a different technique, and I want you guys to follow along closely because we're going to be doing some weird stuff with the hair, but it's going to make it so that it's in one piece and covering the back. So if you just follow along, hit pause and rewind if you need to. We're going to get his head done and make him look like he's got hair on the back of his head. To begin, you're going to take 2 bands and you're going to place those in the center. 2 bands in the center. 2 more bands going from center to left 2. It's a long diagonal. 2 bands going from center to right 2. Once again, another long diagonal. Then we're going to take a single band on the left, a single band in the center, and another single band on the right. 1 more single band in the center. And now we're going to be forming a really long diagonal from left 1, 2, 3 to center 5. Left 3 to center 5. A really long diagonal there. We're going to go from right 3 to center 5 with a long diagonal. And we need to take a single black band and you're going to double twist it, and it's going to go over center 4 and center 5. Now I do need to lay a couple horizontal bands from center 3, left 3, and right 3. Left 3, center 3, and right 3, forming a triangle. That was a double twist band. Another double twist band coming directly above it. Okay, so we have an odd diamond shape going on here. When we begin to loom, you're going to leave this double twist band right here. That's going to be a cat band. We're using that as a cat band. So you want to reach in there beyond the double twist and grab the single band going off to the right. Push back as you would a cat band, grab that single band, go off to the left. And then I'm on the left side and I'm reaching in for that single band and coming straight forward just one time. And we're going to stop. In the center, I don't know if you guys can see, but it's kind of an open loop there. You just want to grab it and come straight forward once. Grab your next loop, again forward once. I'm on the right side and I'm going to just loom forward once. Take all of these and just push them down. Now we're going to begin to lay our next layer. In our next layer, you're going to be using 2 flesh from left 2 to left 3, 2 flesh from center 2 to center 3. My apologies, I take that back. Pull your left ones back up. Your left is going to be a single band. Left 2 to left 3 is a single band. Center 2 to center 3 is a double. And right 2 to right 3 is a single. In the center, we're going to do 2 bands. And then we're going to do our cheek area with 2 bands. Going from left to center, going from right to center. We're going to do our neck, which is 2 bands. And we're going to stop here for a minute. After you've laid your 2 bands of your neck, you want to grab the black piece that's down there, and you just want to lift it over so that it rests on top of your flesh color band there in the neck. That's how I've connected the hair and able to keep the hair down on the back of his neck. Now we're going to begin with our white for his shoulders. 2 white from center to left. 2 white from center to right. And because Prince Eric shows a little bit of his chest, we're doing 2 flesh colored in the center. Now we're going to do 2 bands left, 2 bands center, 2 bands right, 2 bands left, 2 bands center, 2 bands right, and these are all white. 2 bands left. Do not do 2 bands in the center of white, and you're going to do 2 bands right of white. Now I do need to come back up here to the white, and I need to take a diagonal. We're going to do a diagonal from this left peg to covering up the bottom of where the flesh is. And I'm going to do the same thing on the right side. And that's going to give me just a little bit of extra detail here to kind of make it look like he's got a collar on. Okay, and we'll begin with the pants area. And that's going to be 2 blue left, 2 blue in the center, 2 blue on the right, 2 blue on the left, 2 blue on the center, 2 blue on the right. One more time for this. 2 blue on the left, 2 blue on the center, and 2 blue on the right. Now we're going to do 1 band going from the left to the center and 1 band from the right to the center. And I know that's really hard to see because I'm in the blue area. But that was 1, 2, 3 sets of blue bands on the left, 3 sets of blue bands in the center, and 3 sets of blue bands on the right. And you should have 2 open pegs on each of those at the bottom. Now we're going to do the thigh area, and that's going to be 3 bands on the left, 3 bands on the left, and that's going to be part of his left leg. Now we're going to do 3 bands on the right and 3 bands on the right. Okay, so we've got the start of his legs. The bottom of his legs are here. We just need to do our horizontal bands. Above where we attach the inner portion of his thigh, you want to take a single blue and cover up those next 3 triangles. A single blue, once again above that. Single blue double twisted. We need to do a single white and another single white. You have to do his face area. At the face area, you're going to take 1 flush, double twist, and that will be right there for the face. And this is where I'm also going to add the eyes. And the eyes are going to go from left 2 to right 3. Left 2, 1, 2 left to right 2. Oops. You want to stretch that over. And then what you want to do with the eyes, you want to take and separate the bands in the center. And you want to pull 1 piece down over that center peg. So it's going to go around the left, circling the center, and around the right. Hope you guys can see that. All right, now we just need to add our arms and our legs. For the arms, you want to make sure that you're grabbing and putting the one with 2 bands, the cuff with 2 bands. You want that to be on the top, facing upward. And twist this around here to get my other arm on. Once again, making sure that the double band in the cuff area is facing upward. And then for our legs, you're going to be placing a leg band on there, his leg extension. Doesn't matter which way these face because they both have 2 on them for the cuff area. Okay. So there's our leg extension. And now we're able to start to loom Prince Eric. As we loom Prince Eric, we're going to stop up here at the blue, where the blue is, and we're going to be adding in 3 red bands to form his belt. So let's begin by looming Prince Eric, reaching into the left leg. And we're going to come forward 1, 2 times. And then you're going to do the single band over towards the center. And then I'm going to reach in and I'm going to just loom up to where the blue ends. Loom up to where the blue ends, and we're going to stop there. Oops. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the right side. Reach in, straight forward looping. Come to where the diagonal is, go in towards the center, and then I'm just going to continue to loop up to where the blue ends. For the center, I'm going to do the same thing, push back those diagonals, and I'm looping up once again to where the blue ends. Stop there, push this down slightly, and you're going to take these 3 red bands and lay them across that blue in a triangular shape. And you want to reach in, push the red back, you got a blue horizontal down there, you need to push that back too, and grab your 2 whites, and we're going to loop all the way up to the shoulder area. Oops. Loop straight forward to the shoulder. I'm going to stop there on the left. Reach into the center, and you're grabbing your white, and you're just going to loop straight forward, and you're going to stop where the flesh is. You want to stop right there at the neck area where the flesh is. On the right side, loop forward, once again to the shoulder area, and we're going to stop right there at the shoulder. Now we need to reach into the center and grab the top band that's going off to the right. Reach in, top band going off to the left. Reach into your left shoulder, push back everything you got there, all that mess for his arms, and go to the center. Reach into the left, or the right, I'm sorry. Go to the center. And the next step, you want to make sure that you do not forget that neck band. Actually, it's part of his chest. That'll be his chest area. Now we're going to do the neck, pushing back all that stuff, and we're getting those bottom 2 flesh colored. We're going to come straight forward. Now this is a little tricky here. You can try to push back your black bands to get to your flesh color bands that are coming up next, but I'm going to just show you a quick trip. With your hook, grab those 2 black bands, and we're just going to stretch those over to this peg on the left for a minute, and then we're going to release it. So it just allows you to get in there and grab your bands a little bit easier. So you want to reach in and grab your bands going off to the right for the cheek. Reach in, grab your bands going off to the left for the cheek. And reach in and grab your 2 bands going forward up towards the nose area. Now just unhook your black bands that you have there and relieve that tension off of those. So our next step is going to be reaching in to our left, and you only want to grab the single flesh colored band. So you want to push back your flesh and grab that 1 band. Don't grab the black ones underneath, just grab that 1 band and loop forward. You want to do that on the left. We're going to do the same thing on the right. Reaching in, grabbing just the flesh band and looping forward. Now in order to get his hair to attach and to make him have like a little sideburn look, as Prince Eric does, you're going to need actually 2, 1 for each side, a single black band. This is going to be a bit tricky. What I want you guys to do is to reach into loop number 1, 2, 3, or peg number 3 left. And I want you to push your hook down in there, roll it around, grabbing everything that's right there. Okay, so your hook's going to be sticking out and in between the peg and all those bands. You're going to take your single black and you're going to pull it up through that area and reclaim your black again. Reclaim the other end of your black. Okay. Now that it's reclaimed, you're going to take those loops and place them on that forward peg where we loop the flesh in first. We'll do the same thing on the right side. Right number 3, stick your hook in, push the bands back, and pull it forward. Grab your black band, pull through this, And I got an extra piece of black in there. And reclaim your black loop off to the side. And then we're just laying it on the forward pin. Now we are ready to finish looping our creation. I'm going to reach into the center, push back that little piece for the eye, and I'm grabbing the two flesh going forward. I'm going to reach into the left, beyond all that mess and gook. Grab the bottom two, which is that long diagonal, and loop that to its forward pin, that really long diagonal. On the right, I'm going to do the same thing, reaching in, grabbing the bottom two black bands, loop forward to the center pin. Now we need to do the loop here in the center. Reach in, grab those two black bands, and come straight forward. Now we're ready to secure off our figurine. Reach into that peg and do a slip knot with a single rubber band. Now we're ready to pull it off the loom. Before you pull it off the loom, you want to use the back of your hook or a wooden skewer, because you don't want to just rip this right off the loom, because you will probably break some bands because they're really thick in most areas. And especially the shoulder area. And here we go. We're just going to gently lift off our creation. When you're to this part, you will probably feel more comfortable just taking your fingers and lifting it off, and you'll be okay through that area. But the head and the shoulders, you want to definitely not just rip it off. So here we have got our Prince Eric, and you need to tug on him some, tug on his arms. The first thing I want you to do is to take your hook, and I want you to smooth out his neck. That's by grabbing those 4 flesh bands right there and just giving a little tug to make sure that his chest area is covered up and those bands are straight. Our legs look pretty good. You want to bend his foot outward, and in order to do that, you want to go into where the 2 bands were. You want to pull the 3 or the twisted bands up to form his shoe. Just simply take your crochet hook and set it in that first joint. Pull the 3 bands forward and the bands down. So here we've got his legs okay. His belly, you want to grab one of those bands and flip it around the back. And that's going to be his belt. We need 1 more red band. You want to go in and you want to grab those underneath. You want to do just a quick little slip knot there. And that's going to kind of make his belt look like it's got a tie in it off to the side. For his shoulders, place your hook into the shoulder joint. Pull up on the shoulder area and down on the arm. Shoulder joint on the opposite side. Pull up on the shoulder area, down on the arm. Now we've reached his head. And the first thing you want to do is to hide your black securing band. So I'm just going to take a skinnier hook. I'm going to grab through the back. I'm just going to hide my securing band down in the back of this loom. It's not really needed because I don't want to use mine as charms. And then pop out his eyes slightly. And for the back of the head, you'll still see a little bit of flesh here. This is from the eyes. You just want to take a couple strands of your black that you have here in the back and loop that over just simply by taking your hook and giving them a little stretch and tuck in that flesh. So I'm just grabbing with the hook, a couple bands, and I'm going to tuck the flesh down in. Just tuck those bands down in. And that one wants to be stubborn. Of course, it's part of his eye band. So you can just fiddle and play with it until you get the eyes in the position that you want. Grab the hair, if it's still not covering up the flesh, and just pull a couple strands towards the back some. They're rubber bands, they're pretty stretchy. And here, with a little bit more fiddling, we'll have the perfect Prince Eric to go along with our little mermaid. And my belt just came undone there. Didn't have that tight enough. Trying to rush. So here we've got our Prince Eric to go along with our Ariel. He'll be sitting on the beach. Ariel in his arms. Don't they make a cute little pair? So I hope you've enjoyed the Prince Eric tutorial. Just keep fiddling with them for a little bit until you get the bands in the places that you want. Just a little tug on them. You'll figure out which way they need to go. And we've got our Prince Eric to go along with Ariel. Thank you guys.